Hello and welcome to my show Indus Cuisine, and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. We're back with another new episode from the heart of Pakistan. Today's recipe is very interesting. It is appreciated by every Pakistani you would know in Pakistan or abroad or in any other country in the world. It's Daal Makhni. We're making chicken dal makhni today, and it is one of the most famous and one of the most favorite recipes of every household you would come across in this country. It's a very easy recipe, and it started back in the days when the Britishers came to Pakistan. What happened was, back in the day when dal was made and enjoyed by the locals, the Britishers came across this ingredient and they asked the chefs, the royal chefs back then, to make something out of it that could be easily digestible, delicious, and not too high on spices such as red chilies or green chilies. So this recipe came into being, and it's said that when you talk about Mohenjo-daro, everyone knows it's a very old civilization, also known as the Indus civilization in Pakistan. When the archaeologists back in the day did the excavation of the site, they found pots and pans in which remains of dal was found, and this is like almost 2000 years ago. So Pakistan's history, our culture, has been really closely tied to this, and apart from that, we're an agriculture based country. And when you talk about a country that relies on agriculture, dal, lentil, which we call in English, is something that is widely grown as a cash crop in the country, and it is exported throughout the world. So what are the ingredients of today's recipe? It's very interesting. If you're a vegan, what you can do is you can minus out the chicken and you can cook it as I'm cooking it. And if you like chicken and if you can actually enjoy it, so this is how you'll follow it, A to Z. So we need some black lentil. What I did was I took some lentil and I soaked in water for half an hour. So all the water has been absorbed by the dry lentil. Then what I did was I took some kidney beans, they're dried, and I soaked it in water for half an hour, and it's over here. So what we'll do is this recipe will be cooked in 3 different ways. What we'll do is we shall put the lentils, the dal, in a pressure cooker and pressure cook it for like 15 to 20 minutes. On the other hand, what we'll do is we'll put some spices on the chicken legs and char grill them or grill them open fire over there, and then we shall make the masala and incorporate all the 3 things together and serve it to you. So what are the ingredients of today's recipe? We'll start from the vegetables. We need some tomatoes, we need some coriander, we need around 2 onions finely chopped. Then you will need ginger and garlic. These are the other 2 vegetables. Then you need some black lentil, you need some kidney beans, you need red chili powder, not too much, a bit. We're cooking for 6 people, so the amount of red chili we're using will be distributed equally between everyone and it won't be that spicy. Then you need some garam masala, but that shall go towards the end because it's what you can say, the more you cook garam masala, the stronger it gets and it puts down the other flavors. Then you need some cumin powder, coriander powder, you need salt to taste, you need turmeric powder. So what I'll do for this recipe today, I won't be using cumin powder. Why? Because if you shall temper the cumin seeds, which I'm using instead of the cumin powder, it will bring out the flavor even better. And then you need half a kilo of chicken legs. If you want to replace it with white meat, that is breast pieces of chicken, you can do that also. Apart from that, you need some ghee. Ghee is known as clarified butter. I'm telling you ghee. Why? Because when you go outside or if you find a Pakistani store anywhere, you can ask them for ghee. If not, then you can tell them clarified butter also. And then you need some tamarind paste, around 4 tablespoons. The first thing what we'll do is we shall put some masala, we should put some spice, or we should marinate the chicken and keep it on the side, and then we should grill it. Ideally, what you should do is marinate the chicken in the mixture I'm going to make in front of you for an hour and then grill it. But whenever you're marinating it, you need to marinate it in the fridge. Basically, do not keep it on a countertop. Cover it and keep it there. I'll just switch the board. We need the different board for this. So I'll pick up a red board, keep it here, and get ready with the chicken. So open the cling wrap, take the chicken legs out, and the first thing you need to do is you need to make cuts on the chicken. Why? Because when you make cuts on the chicken, there are 2 things that happen. The masala sets in, it gets cooked also till the end, and the cooking process gets faster. So basically, if something will take around 15 minutes, this way you can cook it within 8 minutes maximum. And also the marination goes deep within and the flavor of the ingredient increases. So just make cuts on it. And this is done. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to take a bowl and make a mixture of some spices. So take a small bowl first, keep it here, and now add some salt. We'll add around half a teaspoon of salt, not too much. Then you shall take a little bit of red chili powder, like around a quarter teaspoon. This is more than enough. Then you need some garam masala, just like a quarter teaspoon more. Some coriander powder. And in the end, you need some turmeric powder, not too much, just a quarter teaspoon. That's it. Now what you need is you need to push these on the side, and I shall grate some ginger and garlic. I'll grate it directly into this, so I'll use the finest side and just around, let's say, half a teaspoon, not too much. Put this over here, shake it, and here we go. Then you need some garlic, around 2 cloves, not too much. Keep the end on the side. And this is done. Shake it and put this back. Why? Because you need to wash it and then you shall use it. You need a bit of tamarind paste. Always mix it a bit and then pour it. I'm going to rinse my hands once. And just rotate all the spices in the bowl together and mix it a bit. So this is done. You can see the spice is ready. Now what you need is you need to dip the chicken in this. Just rotate it around like this, coat it, and take a plate or a glassware and put it back here. So what you need to do is you need to coat it, massage it a bit like this, so that the masala goes into the cuts, the spice goes into the cuts, and keep it in the fridge for at least an hour, if not an hour, at least half an hour, and then cook it. Why? Because the spices, the masala will go till the end in the chicken and it will get tender, juicy and soft. Okay, this is done. Do not put too much. You don't want it coated deeply. Why? Because if you add too much of spice, the flavor will get very overwhelming. You don't want that. You want it to have a nice flavor. Why? Because we shall incorporate this chicken in the dal again. So this is done. Now what I'll do is I'll keep it in the fridge for half an hour. Pick it up and toss it in the fridge. Okay, now you need to change a board. I've rinsed my hands. We don't need this. Why? Because we're not making meat anymore. We need a green board. Now, firstly, what you need to do is you need a pressure cooker. Why? Because if you cook kidney beans otherwise without a pressure cooker, it will take a lot of time. This way you can cook it within 15 to 20 minutes. Now, firstly, what you'll do is you'll take a piece of garlic. You'll take a bit of ginger, around half a tablespoon equal. Keep this back here and just roughly cut it into 2 pieces and just cut the garlic piece also in 2 pieces. Now toss these over here. Now what you need to do first is transfer the dal. I'll keep this over here so that you can take a look. Transfer the dal here. Try not wasting. And now the kidney beans. It's in. Now what you need is you need to add at least 1.5 liters of water in this. And add around half a teaspoon of salt. This is done. Just give it a shake. Put the lid back on. Press it and close it. Once the whistle starts blowing, you shall count around 15 minutes, and then when it's done, when the pressure cooker cools down, open it, and then I'll let you know what to do next. So I'll increase the heat to full. Once the whistle goes on, reduce the heat to low and then start counting the time. Okay, this is done. Now what you need is a new pan. I'll use a medium-sized pan over here. I'll bring it to heat. And then I shall add some ghee, which means clarified butter to it. This recipe also uses butter, which is in the fridge. Why? Because it's a little hot today, so if you keep the butter outside, it's going to melt, which I do not like. You need the butter to be cold for this recipe. Why? Because half of it you'll add towards the end. And when you add the chicken to the pan, that's the time when you'll add the butter also. So firstly, you need 2 onions. Finally, chop them, so just keep the root on. Always remember, I'm using white onions because I want that nice sweet flavor in the dal. Cut the onions like this, make a cut, and finally chop them. Keep the root on the side, you wouldn't want the root. If you can't find white onions, what you can do is you can use the red ones also, and it will just intensify the flavor a bit, but wouldn't make a big difference if you're used to Pakistani desi cooking. But if you're cooking in the West, I prefer for this recipe you use white onions. Let's make a cut. Push it on the side. Take the onion, toss it in, and now transfer half a cup of clarified butter, also known as ghee, into the pan. Keep some on the side because I don't want too much of it. Move it. And now when it's hot, which will take another 20 seconds, transfer this over here. So just push it on the side. As you can see, the clarified butter is melting, and now it has melted completely. Transfer the onions. You can hear the sizzling sound. It shouldn't be too hot because you need to make the onions translucent, not brown. If it's too hot, what will happen is the outer part of the onion will get brown and the inner part would still be a bit raw and tough, which you wouldn't like. Okay, so just add like 2 pinches of salt, not too much. Mix it up. Give it a lid for around 2 minutes on let's say medium-low heat. Till the time this is cooking, what we'll do is we'll just clean up and we'll go for a short break. Once we're back from the break, I'll let you know what to do. And also, as you can see, this is getting almost hot, so we'll start counting 15 minutes from now. I'll see you back after the break. Welcome back. You're watching Indus Cuisine and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. During the break, I just did one thing. I shifted the pressure cooker over here and I just shifted the pan to this stove. Now what you need to do is, the grill is on completely. You need to add the chicken legs. We shall grill the chicken legs. And then what I'll do is, I shall take the cold butter and just rub it on the chicken. turn it. For that you need this, and keep the side which has butter on it at the bottom. So we're going to cook the chicken like this, only 40%, because we need that flavor. And let it cook for like 3 minutes each side. And what I'll do again is I'll pick the butter up, rub it on the chicken. Smells delicious. And let it cook. Okay, so put this over here, rinse your hands once. So, first what you need to do is chop the tomatoes finely, keep them here. I'll take 4 tomatoes. Firstly, take the eye of the tomato out. Throw these in the dustbin. You don't need these. And now you shall finely chop them. Take it on the side. When you shall add this to the onions, the flavor of this shall integrate with the spices. But before that, you need it to break down properly. Keep an eye on the chicken. I said 3 minutes each side, so I'll just go and turn it now. The smoke is beautiful, it smells really nice. And the tomatoes are done. Keep this over here, pick up this and just turn it. You can see the char grill marks, that's what we need. Keep grilling it. Okay, this is done. Okay, it's been 15 minutes since the pressure cooker went off. The whistle basically went off. Take it up and keep it on the side. I keep it over here because it's safer rather than keeping it on the countertop. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll pick this up and bring it here. Now what you need to do is increase the heat. You can see the onions aren't brown, that's what I wanted. Keep the lid over here and firstly take the cumin. The cumin goes in. Now you shall add a bit of garam masala, not too much, just a pinch right now, not too much. And then the coriander powder. Mix it up. Okay, now it's been like 20 seconds. Perfect. What you need is you need the tomatoes to go in over here. So we'll pick up the tomatoes, transfer it here. And add around a 1/4 teaspoon of salt on the tomatoes. This is done. Put this on the side. Mix it up. Take the cloth if the handle is too hot and mix it. This is done. Give it a lid and let it cook for 5 minutes on high heat. Now we shall go back to the chicken. The chicken is 60% done. So what I'll do is I'll pick it up. So let me pick a new plate up from the back. This plate is here, and just take the pieces of chicken and place it in the plate. And the delicious chicken is over here. I'll keep it here. Yet again, I'm telling you, it's only 60% done, and that's what you need to do. Okay, switch this off. Done. And now we shall continue. Okay, what you need now is you need the grater. And you need around an inch of ginger. I'll finally shred it. Now leave half of it on the side. Now you need 4 cloves of garlic. I'm shredding it together. Leave the end on the side, you don't want to cut your hand. As you can see, this recipe is made in 3 stages. And we're done. Take these and throw them in the bin. Okay, shake it up and here you go. Okay, now what you need to do is mix this up. As I'm mixing, it's converting into a paste. Why? Because it's really soft and it's like going down and getting mashed up. Give it a lid, keep this here. Now, transfer this over here, keep it on the side, scoop it up, toss it in. Mix it up, spread it out first like this, and then mix it. It's converted into a nice mushy paste. Now take a new spatula and just press it down. So as you can see, I'm pressing it down. And now what I'll do is I'll change the cooking pot. But before that, let me clean out all the juices of the ginger and garlic. Clean as you go, that's the best way. And throw this over here. Okay, I'll take this off. I'll bring another cooking pan and transfer this over here. This is done. This is not the lid. So give this a lid and let it be on the side. Now what you need to do is you need to add a few spices. Firstly, you'll add the red chilies. Then you'll add the remaining turmeric powder. Then half a teaspoon of garam masala. This is done. And then a quarter teaspoon of salt. I add salt as I go. Why? Because you can always put less salt and increase it later on, but you can't reduce the salt later on if it's too much. Okay, so this goes on the side. Okay, now the butter. Take a paring knife. Take half of the butter and place it here. This is done. Now what you need is the chicken in this. So flatten it out and let the butter melt. Smells amazing. And add the chicken legs over here. Chicken legs go in. Mix it. Reduce the heat to low. And give it a lid for 2 minutes. Till the time this is cooking, what we'll do is we'll just clear out the place and then I shall continue with this. So 2 minutes have passed by. I just took out the lentils from the pressure cooker. As you can see, there's a little bit of water over here. Do not throw this water. Just like the beef broth, when you make beef or mutton in the cooker and you have the water in it and you don't throw it away, this is the lentil broth. Basically, it's for the vegans also, people who do not like beef and any form of meat. What they do is they use this as a replacement and it's delicious. But right now, because we're making this recipe and in Pakistan's history, that's what we do. Rather than adding new water, we use this water, which is delicious. The lentil is almost done. You can see the oil has come on top. What we need to do now is we need to add the lentils and mix it up. Keep this over here and just slowly and gradually mix it. It's delicious. Oh my God, it smells amazing. This is done. And now what you need to do is, it tastes really nice. Just let it cook for 5 minutes. That's it. So what I'll do is I'll keep this over here and you need to add a bit of coriander on top, but it needs to be really finely chopped. So what I'll do till then is I'll finely chop the coriander. And this is the only coriander I need. So just keep passing your knife through it. And this is done. Okay. So now after 5 minutes, I shall dish this out. Till then, let me just prepare for the whole process. As you can see, today's recipe is done. The chicken and the dal, it looks delicious. You can see the char marks on the chicken. It's cooked till the end. I put a tomato slice and then I added some butter on top so that slowly the butter starts melting, not like something's flooding the whole place. Then Pakistanis usually have this recipe with flatbread or naan bread. They add some butter on top, extra also. So quick and easy, delicious, healthy food made at home, made at restaurants. This recipe is accepted everywhere in Pakistan. I hope you liked today's episode. I'll see you in another episode. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.